match.
Oh, Manchester United, you said? Atalanta can spank Manchester United like... I'm sorry.
Wait
a second. Antonio, I might be mistaken, but where's Milan right now?
Don't worry about that. We're talking about
Where
Atalanta.
is Milan? Last time I heard
We're
Milan
talking
played,
about
I heard they got
Atalanta.
a good spanking from Genoa. Is that true?
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Italian Football TV, the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. It's been an insane few days. We only recorded a podcast on Monday, and it feels like our whole world has flipped upside down since then. At least over here in America, things have changed big time. Yeah. We were fighting on that last podcast about the league,
the playoffs, what's going to happen,
how you award the league.
And now a few days later, everything just changed.
It kind of feels like all of that doesn't mean too much anymore. And we had to get everybody over here to be able to give their opinion and talk about the whole situation because we got too many comments from everybody asking us what's happening, what's the latest. So Gaetano, Antonio, welcome back. And we have a new guest.
Welcome back. I never missed one podcast. Welcome back, not me.
Anton, first of all, move a little bit. You're supposed to be 3 feet.
1 foot.
Oh, yeah, get out of my side.
Half away, okay?
I got to be careful with Antonio.
So,
you're going to catch something worse if you're close to Antonio. Forget about the corona. You get something way
That's
worse.
the least of your problems,
You
right?
got a Corona, an Heineken, and a Budweiser at the same time.
I just found out that if you want to go on a plane, now you have to have a mask.
But like a real mask.
A real mask. If you don't have a mask, you could be refused from to go on board a plane. So things change so rapidly. If we all imagine a few weeks ago what life was in Italy, now everybody is home and they cannot get out. It is unbelievable. You can. All the restaurants are closed. The Colosseum. There's nobody at the Colosseum. There's nobody at Fontana di Trevi. There's nobody at Piazza di Spagna. There's nobody walking around.
It's like an abandoned
and at
city.
night, they have the police going around, which they tell you, hey, go back home. Otherwise,
Unless you have a good reasons to be out, maybe going to buy some food or things like that.
Food, the pharmacy, things like that.
Everything else is closed. But before we get into it, we got our buddy Ryan, our
Ryan.
lifelong friend Ryan,
Childhood friend
Thanks for
Ryan
having me,
over
guys.
here.
who's
Appreciate it.
a big, what are you, Liverpool fan?
No, man.
Don't get him started.
Yeah, don't ever make that mistake again.
Yeah.
Don't ever make that mistake
He's a
again.
Man.
There we go. You heard it. Nice and clear.
Okay.
Manchester United fan.
So he's
Die
a
hard.
Premier
Die
League
hard.
fan.
We have a different opinions because what's happening in Italy and what's happening in the Premier League is very polar opposites, I would say. Especially even you guys, I think until yesterday, Premier League was looking to play with fans, let alone canceling games. So we had to get Ryan's perspective. Peter's not here, so Ryan, welcome. You're gonna have fun.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll
It
try
depends. Anton might go crazy on you. So
No,
you
but
better be
listen,
careful.
Ryan.
I'm ready for
If you do
Antonio.
well, I'd rather to have you on the podcast than Peter. Peter is an Inter fan. Peter makes me crazy.
See, there we go.
I'm
Now
gonna
me and
kill
Antonio
him.
are friends.
I might have to freaking kill him, so I'd rather to deal with you.
But yeah, we had to get a second opinion. Before we get into it, like you were saying about the whole Italy is on a lockdown officially. Since the last time we recorded, again, everything's changed. The league is officially suspended until April 3rd. At the moment, no fans, no game, no nothing, which obviously is the right decision. Looking at everything in heads, it's not even a question if it's a right decision anymore. And since then, we've seen La Liga, we've seen France, we've seen the Dutch league, we've seen almost every single league, top league, cancel games, no fans, no football. Premier League, at the moment, it's still behind closed doors.
No, we
Did you cancel?
canceled. We canceled.
You canceled
They
games?
were supposed to play this weekend behind closed doors, and it was a last minute decision. Due to a lot of teams picking up on a few players testing positive, so they had to cancel it this weekend.
Well, yeah, that's a scary thing. Before this, it was only, everybody was talking about, it's elderly people who are catching it and all this. Now we've had 9 Serie A players until this very moment
That
of
we know
shooting,
of, yeah.
that have the coronavirus. The first, obviously, was Rugani, which came out during...
Inter Juventus, I guess.
well,
A few days after. I think
few
it was
days.
3 days
they said
afterwards.
on Monday, so the day after the game, he started feeling a fever.
A fever?
Yeah. Apparently. And then Daniele Rugani, and then Gabbiadini, and now up to Cutrone, Vlahovic.
A bunch of Sampdoria
a bunch
players.
of Sampdoria players.
Yeah.
it's
Coley,
unfortunate, but
Bereshinsky.
listen, the most healthy of people are even, could catch it. It's not that it's just anybody can't catch it.
Right.
What were you going to say?
No. Right now, so even today, I think a few more players from Sampdoria, they got it. So it looks like for the Italian Championship, it's very, very optimistic to play on April 3rd. Now, today they had another 3,000 more that were found positive for the coronavirus in Italy. So this lockdown, what they like to do is they have to get to the day where there's nobody gets infected. So that's what we're waiting for. So if the lockdown was a couple of days ago, I guess you have to wait 2 weeks before, maybe then the number is not going to go higher. Once the number stops, then
That's good.
Then
You gotta contain it.
Contain
so
it. Then
doesn't
you have
spread.
it under control.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen when you have it under control and then people go out again? It's tough. It's very tough.
The whole situation is crazy because even for us in the United States, I mean, what we were saying over here was, how serious is it? A lot of us thought Italy were overreacting, and even having family over in Italy, they were saying how bad it was, but we didn't experience it until now. Recently, New York, we've started getting hit with this where jobs are getting canceled. People are staying home from work. People that we know are starting to catch it and all this kind of stuff. And it's showing how serious of a...
Who do you know?
not who I know. I mean,
Okay.
you hear stories of, this guy went to school with somebody that has it.
Because I can still run away from here.
That's why only the foot. Wait, why don't you show everybody how you handshake now?
Oh, the handshake?
Yeah.
Oh, the elbow one?
I thought you were going to do your
He
foot.
does it with his foot too.
well, let me see. Can you reach?
Show just do it when you're sitting down. Just do it. He's gonna have to go to the hospital, not for corona, because of broken foot.
now. How am I able to get a revenge?
Uh-oh. Better be careful. But yeah, seriously, it's gotten to a point that it's very scary. Obviously, the Champions League games, Juventus postponed. Real Madrid players caught it. Everybody all over the world is starting to catch it. And football, the crazy thing is that football's taking a step back. Like the arguments that we're having over this team should be in the playoffs, who gets relegated, it's kind of irrelevant right now.
It is.
I don't think anybody cares about it. I think we're all like, let's be safe. Let's make sure everybody's safe so that it doesn't get to the point where, like you were saying, we have to contain it in a sense. And I don't think April. I don't think we're going to see football again until June.
Yeah.
My opinion, from what I've heard from experts, I doubt that we'll see the season.
I got
finish.
news for you. This European Championship, it might be in doubt
Yeah.
completely.
They're saying they're probably
because,
gonna push it next
if
year.
if you want to actually, go by the rules that the first one gets the championship, and then the next three teams they're going into the Champions League, and then who's gonna go back? Who's gonna go down to Serie B? Who's coming up from Serie B? This is all stuff you cannot really make this up. Oh well, let's freeze everything the way it is right now, and then let's see who's still alive and who's dead. No, you can't. You have to just finish up. Now the timing is what's important, but this whole thing is like a chain reaction that you keep pushing one after the other and after the other, after the other, and then you end up that in November that the game is still November of this year. You can have still people, still team playing the games that they weren't played.
Well, no, that's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I'll be
Alright.
honest with you. At this rate, from the way it's looking, we might not even see the start of next season on time.
But that's what I'm saying. He said just what Marco just said. It's not happening. Marco, it's gonna happen.
What at least Bundesliga's idea, and we had said this last time, Bundesliga was they didn't want to even play behind closed doors. The CEO had said we are not canceling games. Now, obviously, things have gotten to the point where it's much more serious. Everybody thought this was just a thing in Italy, China, and South Korea, and now they're realizing all of Europe, they just weren't doing the testing, and now they're finding the test. Bundesliga's idea, it's not confirmed. At the moment, it's not confirmed. What they're thinking about doing is nobody gets the title, since they say it's not fair. Nobody gets the title. The relegation, nobody gets relegated. They're going to bring the other teams up, and they're going to expand their league to 22 teams.
Oh.
They're at 18, right? And they're going to expand it to 22. And then 4 teams will get relegated the next season. European spots are decided where they are right now. That's what Germany is doing. What they're thinking about doing.
All right, so as far as the numbers that they're not as high in Germany and England, I think in England they're high, but nobody's reporting them. But you need to do the test. What Italy did when they started is there were 10 little towns. They closed it with the army, and everybody inside that town was tested. They went door to door, and they tested like 50,000 people.
That's why.
That's why the numbers are so high. And I don't think they did that in France, in Germany, and in England. They didn't do that. But if you do that, the numbers are going to be
too.
high.
Higher, yeah.
Now, the numbers are going to get high in the United States once you start testing. Now, yesterday, the governor said he has a drive-in test. In other words, you drive with your car. There's going to be somebody with a suit, proper, so to protect themselves. They're going to swipe, and you're going to drive away. And they're going to have 3, 4, 5 different lanes. So it's like you're going to, like a car wash. You pass,
Drive-through or something.
and they can test a lot of people in one day. And then you're going to
Let's
see.
say you got 4 people on the
then
car.
the-
They're going to test 4 people on the car.
No, one car.
Or one
You gotta
person
make-
for each
You
car.
gotta make an
Really?
appointment, right, or something?
Yeah,
you
you
have to
need
make
to
an
make an
appointment.
appointment. So that's as far as what you said about the German league. To me, to do the fair thing, you wait until this stops. Once you stop and it's safe, you start from now, from where you finish.
Cancel the
So that-
Euros. You're
So
saying cancel the Euros.
you cancel. You make the Euro 2021, play 2021, and then you finish the season. And then right now the players are taking time off. You don't give them any time off. You start again the next season.
So play through
because
the
they
summer.
usually take a month off. So you give them a couple of weeks off, and then you start the new season.
But what if it lasts longer than expected? Then it goes into next year's fixtures. What do you do then?
I got a solution for that, Mike. What you do,
Yeah.
you play the regular championship, like Campionato, like the
Yeah.
English Premier League, the Italian League, the Spanish La Liga, and all the stuff. And in between, you call it a week off and say, okay, Euro time. Who's facing who? So, and then the
You
national
want to play
team-
the Euros too?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
you're
there's
going
still
cr-
there's
going
still the
crazy.
chance.
That's a little too
Listen,
much.
we're talking
Okay,
about
so
playing. We're
how
talking
long-
about playing,
we
not
have
working.
what,
Those
2
guys are
months
playing.
left. We have April.
May.
April and May, the end of
We
May.
have 2
May,
months
end of
left.
May.
Let's
Yeah.
say we have 2.5
13
months.
games.
13 games. Well, how many?
12, 13 games.
No, it's less than that.
It goes to 38. We're at
To 38.
26.
Yeah,
so
around
12,
there.
13. It depends on your team.
Okay.
Some teams have played
So
less.
you say that it's going to come back. You can start playing in June.
The experts
Okay.
are
So
saying
you-
that by June we should be okay.
So you play June and July
Uh-huh.
to finish the season.
And then Champions League in between? Champions League and Europa League?
Yeah, Champions League and Europa League in between.
Middle week, yeah.
The Coppa Italia, whatever. You have the 2 months.
Yeah.
Coppa Italia doesn't
There's
really...
only a few matches
Okay,
left.
so you have the 2 months.
We're still on.
So
No, there's only a couple
June,
matches
July.
left.
So you're
Barely.
in July. August, you could decide middle of August to do the European games for 1 month, and then you go to September, and then you start the season. Or you eliminate the European Championship. You're in August. You take a couple of weeks off in August. You start the end of August. You start your new championship.
You know, it's easy said than done. You know, Gaetano, you know how much money is rotating around this whole game?
But
over
you play the whole games. If you don't play any more games, you're not going to make any more money. But
you're
if you
saying
finish
when
the
you
championship,
when you reconvene, you say
Yeah.
with spectator again, going
Yeah.
back to the stadium.
He's saying when everything's safe.
when it's safe.
Who's deciding when it's safe? And when
We're
it's
just
not
making an
safe?
assumption based off what they're saying that June it should be okay.
They
The-
said that when the hot weather comes, the virus doesn't spread as much.
Yeah, but they're saying it's a myth.
because they explain it because there's more humidity in the air.
And the
that's why
the droplet they just go faster down.
that's what the droplet they don't
They don't
travel.
they don't stay airborne for
They don't
longer.
travel as far.
Where'd you get this from?
That's why.
No, it's true.
I'm a doctor.
The doctor.
That's why the flu season. It's all usually in the winter time. Now we had a meeting with CDC, and that was one of my questions. I said, when I sneeze, how far do I have to be safe? So she said 6 feet if somebody sneezes. Now what happens to what happens to the droplet? That's why when you sneeze, if you put your hand here, that's very bad because
gotta do
then
this.
because the droplet then are going to go in your hand. Then you shake somebody's hand, and then somebody puts their hands in their eyes, and you get sick. So that's why you should sneeze like this. Now let's say you sneeze. Now the droplets they go, and you're supposed to be 6 feet away. Then this droplet they drop. If they drop in a hard surface, and this is a hard surface, depending on the surface, it could stay there for 3-4 hours, even longer. If it drops in the clothes, it's less.
It absorbs.
It absorbs. But the thing is, the question was, how long does it stay in the air?
Okay.
So she said,
Not much.
not long. We're talking about seconds. But the other day I heard that it could stay in the air much longer. So if I sneeze here and this thing, the droplets stay in the air, and then somebody 10 minutes later passes and breathes this
10 minutes, that
droplet.
much? I was thinking like a
Let's-
minute.
I thought they said 20 minutes. Didn't you tell me 20
That
minutes?
much?
No.
That's even more than I
That's-
thought.
that's-
The CDC,
a long time.
CDC said seconds.
Okay.
But I heard another program which the doctor said it could last longer in the air. So that's why. How long can it stay in the air? That was my question. And actually, now that I heard another doctor said that it could stay in the air, that's why it's so contagious. Because if I sneeze and I go away, and then somebody happens to pass by here and breathes in, then you could get sick. But I am not sure how long the droplets stay in the air. Maybe you can ask your daughter. Your daughter is a doctor.
TB is a little crazy. I remember working for the Department of Health when I
So
was a
that
little
is
younger.
that is the big question. That's why there's no shake hands, stay away, wash your hands all the time. Because right now I have my hands here. So if the virus is here and then
you
I touch
rub your
my
eye,
face, so do not touch your face. They say that people touch their face 20 times a minute.
I
You
just
know,
did it.
How
Yeah,
much?
so-
20 times? Oh, that's a long.
so be careful. That's how you get sick. So if people are sneezing around you, if people are coughing, you need to stay away. Now, if you're on a plane, it's a little bit difficult to stay away. But for the people that go on a plane, they say that the air gets recycled 30 times
I heard that.
an hour.
And in boats too.
They actually made a
And,
suggestion
and
to open the air
Right. And
nozzle over there and just let it blow away.
99.5% of the air is clean. Okay,
But that 0.5.
but
Well, they have a fresh air intake. It all depends
Yeah.
where the plane is going by. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. So it's fresh air that comes into the plane. So, but because it's the difference between this virus and other viruses, this is very contagious. Now, years ago, there has been other virus. There was the swine flu, the H1N1, where a lot of people died. I think, like 10,000 people died in United States. And
In the beginning, it was not taken very seriously.
Right.
Now, all of a
Like
sudden,
and worldwide there were,
Everything
I don't know, like
Yeah.
500,000 people.
Yeah.
So it is, but this one is very contagious. So
That's why we need to do our best. The
right,
whole
especially
resto a casa, stay home.
yeah,
Right.
guys, if you're watching this one here, I mean, let's have fun talking about soccer, who's winning, who's losing. But like Gaetano is saying, Marco, and everybody else is saying over here, try to stay safe. Don't touch anything that you don't know. Keep washing your hands,
Correct.
sanitize your hands, wipe the surfaces that you mostly use, your computer, the keyboards, the phone. I heard the phone is one of the
100%. Yeah.
so.
They say it's dirtier than a toilet seat.
Oh my
Than
God,
a
the
public
phone?
toilet
But the
seat.
phone,
Yeah.
So I walk around with the gel,
Uh-huh.
so every
Let me get that?
Huh?
You're not gonna let go of that.
He's gonna zip
So,
it.
people are killing for hand sanitizer
I
these
have-
days.
I
That's
have
like
a-
gold right now.
I have
Gaetano.
a-
Be careful.
I
how
have-
you
it
use
is.
it.
these things in Italy, they go for $50.
Yeah, now.
I have wipes on my car, so
Yeah,
every
Perfect.
time-
now I know it's in
every
your
few
jacket and your
minutes,
car.
you do
I
that,
gotta go to the
but-
store.
Even when you put this in your hand, also wash your hand.
Yeah.
Let's say you have now that virus in your hand because of the gel killed that virus. It will still be in your hand, so it's good. It's not gonna you're not gonna get sick, but washing the hands, they say that's the best thing that you can do.
Secondary if you don't
Any-
have a sink or something.
Anyway, we're not health experts.
No.
There's a lot of information out there that somebody says this, the other person says this. We don't know, but I think the most serious thing is that the most important thing right now is that we try to avoid groups of people. We try to avoid mass transit. We try to stay home as much as possible. If you could work from home, if you could do all these things, because like Italy has been saying, and I saw Italy's prime minister, he said the whole idea is that USA and everybody else needs to learn from Italy's mistakes. Italy was not taking this seriously. People were still traveling around, and that's how it spread so bad. And it's not that this virus is so deadly. It's the fact that when you go to a hospital, if they're so crowded, now it can become deadly because you don't have the respirators. So they want it to even out. Instead of going on a direct spike and then coming down, they want it to balance out like this, where everybody could stay. The Prime Minister of Italy said, you won't die. He said, if we have hospital beds, you will not die. You'll be okay for the most part, for most people. But if too many people are catching it at the same time, so that's why avoid, doing all these things. But anyway, like I said, we're not health experts. Ryan, what's happening in the Premier League? Tell us.
Right now, the Premier League has been canceled, and we found out today that there's 8 teams that are now in self-isolation.
Any group, any team in particular?
We have Arsenal, Leicester, Chelsea, Man City, Watford, Bournemouth, West Ham, and Everton all in
my God.
self-isolation at the moment. Yeah.
Ancelotti is in
Yeah.
trouble too in Everton.
Michael Arteta, manager of Arsenal, was tested positive. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Chelsea's winger, he's been tested positive as well. So there's a lot going on at the minute. The EFL, English Football League, has decided to cancel not just the Premier League, but the other divisions as well, to keep everybody safe. So,
Jeez. You see that? But you know what's crazy? And I saw this when we were watching the Champions League games. Liverpool had fans in the game versus Atletico, and Madrid is one of the hotbeds. They had how many people went over?
Yeah.
And we're watching the games. That's crazy.
And Simeone was inside in them.
And then you had Arsenal played their game when they played against Olympiacos.
No,
They played against Olympiacos, right? Arsenal Olympiacos.
When? Europa League?
Yeah.
No, that was a while ago.
So what's the whole thing that they were mad about?
Okay.
Because
I
Olympiacos'
believe
president
the
has
owner-
a corona.
The
Yeah,
owner was tested positive.
Olympiacos' president, who's owner of Olympiacos and Nottingham Forest in England, he got tested positive for coronavirus, and he was in England at the time, and he visited Arsenal, and there were players around them, and they're saying from that, and they realized a few days afterwards. Then that's when the players started freaking out when they realized his name's Marinakis, that he was tested positive for coronavirus. Then from there, they started taking more precautions and quarantining the teams, like Ryan was saying.
Yeah, but they still played that game.
No,
Arsenal played. Didn't they play West Ham? That's why Ogbono was upset. He said, "How the hell do we
you're
play
saying
a game?"
The Premier League, yeah.
Yeah,
the
we're
Premier
talking about
League,
how
yeah.
Arsenal had to play against
yeah,
them.
yeah,
because
yeah.
As
the
we've said
freaking
before,
yeah, exactly.
they
It's
didn't
crazy.
take it as serious in England. I was in shock that they even let Manchester United play on Thursday with, obviously it was closed doors, but
Europa
it's the
League
fact
too.
that you don't know who's in direct contact with who. Well, if you were to go to a market right now or a pharmacy, you wouldn't even see medicine on the shelves. It's that bad at the minute,
Yeah, over here you mean, right?
Right.
Yeah, because
So-
everybody's like buying in bulk.
And toilet
Also,
paper for
yeah,
some reason.
why is
Why is
everybody
everyone
buying
buying
toilet
toilet
paper?
paper?
But-
How long do you guys think you're gonna be home for? 3 years?
People are buying toilet paper for 18 years. Did you see the video at Target? The people were fighting over toilet paper.
paper.
Toilet paper. That's what out of all things.
That's one of the last
for
things,
toilet
I
paper.
think.
Yeah, that's like the last thing you need.
If I run out of toilet paper, I'll take one of those Juventus shirts. I'll use it as a toilet paper.
But
This is
And
crazy.
also the thing that bothered me was PSG. They had their game behind closed doors.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
All their fans waited outside.
What?
All their fans waited outside singing the entire
In
game.
groups all
They
together.
literally did the exact opposite of what was need to be. And let me make it worse.
What happened?
Not only did they do that, the PSG players after the game went on the balcony, started cheering to them to keep cheering. They were pumping them up. Then that wasn't enough. Kurzawa, who's a defender of PSG, went into the crowd and was getting kisses and hugging and jumping on all the fans.
Dancing with the grooves of PSG fans.
They literally undid. They don't understand a single thing about what the whole point of not going there was.
You know why? Because soccer is more powerful than anything.
Nah, that's
Okay,
when
I
you
know, but
play
you gotta
soccer,
take- you gotta take
stupid.
precautions for this kind of
listen,
stuff.
Mike,
That's so
listen
stupid.
to me. The passion of soccer, it just overtakes everything. You're not thinking straight anymore. You score a
No,
goal.
that's
Look
not
at
right.
that. You score a goal. Buffon is kissing the ball on his lips.
But that
It's
wasn't.
almost
It
like-
wasn't, it wasn't
this
after a
is-
goal.
this is a different
It's
time.
after the game. It's after the game.
But after the game, during the game, when the ball scored.
you're talking
about
against
PSG.
Inter.
Antonio.
I'm talking about PSG.
what I will say is it's not just a normal day. This is a completely different scenario.
I
Mark was
know,
saying.
I
You don't
know.
want to encourage people to go out and
They're
do
literally encouraging that.
completely the opposite of what they're supposed to be
No.
doing in a time like this.
It's
you know?
so irresponsible. It's
Right.
so irresponsible.
So for our viewers, guys, this is not. I'm not trying to say that. Don't worry about this. Stay away from
Stay
anybody,
home.
from
Stay home.
everybody, including your mother and your father. You don't know what the hell are they dealing with. Maybe they went to the grandmother or the grandfather,
Well,
or
definitely stay away
or
from
the
your
guy with the
grandparents.
grocery store.
Stay
Who
away
the
from
hell
Antonio.
knows? I actually told my wife. I said, "Hey, by the way, you are a teacher, right? Did you touch anybody over there?" "Yeah, I do that all the time." So don't touch my food. I said, "Don't cook for me. Don't clean for me. Don't." Oh, she said, "I'm great. Thank God. I hope this virus stays here forever." That's why you're gonna learn how to do some home chores, which is She complains that I never do anything. So
You
but
probably don't.
Yeah, I don't
I
blame
do.
her.
I
Probably
do
don't.
plenty.
You feel the dog, and that's it. But
So-
One thing about the teaching is that the kids are not getting
which
it,
is good
which is good. Yeah, sure.
because their respiratory systems are so good, but they can transmit it, which is scary.
They can transmit it.
But let's talk about also some football a little bit. I don't know. You have been working at the airport, so you probably didn't see the games. Did you were here
I
for
saw
one
some
of the games? I think
yeah.
you were here for one of the games. We had Ryan's favorite team, Liverpool and PSG.
Oh my God!
First of all,
I think
Ryan,
he just screwed up again.
I
I think he
my
just
God!
screwed up again.
First of all, about the PSG, since we're talking about them, you didn't see the game, right?
No.
PSG came back and they beat Dortmund.
Dortmund,
You know, their PSG was at home, no fans. They dominated, completely dominated. But the thing that bothered me, and the talking point for me at least, when Neymar scored, he did the celebration that Holland,
The
you know Holland,
meditation,
right?
the meditation.
Yeah.
Holland,
The young kid.
You know Holland, the 19-year-old kid.
Right.
When he scored against PSG, he has a celebration that he does.
What
So
what
he like
was it?
pretends to meditate.
It's like a meditation thing. Close his eyes.
yeah?
folds
It's like
his
saying
legs,
like
and
calm
does that.
down or something.
Yeah, what did Neymar did the same thing?
So Neymar scored and he did the same thing. But,
not
not only
just that,
not only
yeah,
was that
not
enough.
just
Like
that.
I laughed when I saw that.
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
was
that's
fun, yeah,
awesome.
whatever.
After the game, they all sat down. All the players went on the field in front of them, and they did the whole thing. Icardi, Mbappe, the entire team. Then afterwards, they went on Instagram Live. They went live on Instagram. They started making fun of him. They all started doing this.
Trying to instigate. you
Yeah,
say.
But then
against a
PSG
freaking 19-year-old kid.
Then PSG posted an Instagram photo of the whole team on the field doing it again. It's funny if you do it once for banter, but they did it three, four times.
Mike,
Yeah.
So what?
But it was
what if?
overdoing
But
a
what if?
19-year-old
So
guy.
what?
But it's not about that. To me, it's just embarrassing. You look a little bit embarrassing that a 19-year-old is that inside your head because
That's
you
what I
scored a
was
goal
gonna
against
say.
you.
That's
But
what
not
I was
only
gonna
that, there's
say.
a PSG side that's spending billions that finally make it to the knockouts. I've been getting knocked out the past few seasons. That they're so happy that they progress after the past season that they were supposed to, and they're just mocking, a 19-year-old. It's
okay-
fun if you
I'm
do
okay
it once,
mocking.
Not
I'm
to
okay with
mention
4 or
what
5 times you do it.
Right, and not to mention what this 19-year-old did to them in the first leg in Germany. You know,
What did he do? He just celebrated. He
He
celebrated, against
celebrated,
you.
but he dominated against him. He's 19,
he did
and
good.
he was unreal. I mean, he's very talented.
Unstoppable. You know what? At
And
some
I-
point, they're gonna take the measure of these kids. They're gonna just slow him down.
But as
because,
Marco said, it's pretty amazing how the entire team lets a 19-year-old get inside their head like that.
It's so embarrassing. It's just the thing about PSG because you know that they all have this ego about them.
Yeah,
They're just like
exactly.
it's so childish.
I feel like they're bitter too, just because they're not as they don't go as far as they're supposed to be for the money they spend.
What do you think about this?
But I just want to add one quick thing. PSG, give them a little bit of respect for the game. They beat Dortmund
And they dominated.
and they had no Verratti and no Thiago Silva. Their captain wasn't there, and their best
but
midfielder wasn't there.
compared
So
to
I was
Dortmund's
like,
players, these guys got everybody. They have
No,
a lot
I
of
know, but
players.
I was
they
just
played without
surprised.
Icardi didn't even go in.
yeah, that's true.
What do you think about this? You have an opinion?
About the celebration. No,
Yeah.
it's over. It's overdone. You do it once, like you said.
Yeah,
You do it
once,
once, and
yeah.
then that's it.
Kind of embarrassing. I don't know. I thought Liverpool Atletico, which was
Oh
the
my
game of
God.
all games
No
for
one
us
expected
in the
this.
studio. I think some of the people have seen Max. He was in one of our FIFA videos recently. He's a very big Liverpool fan. He came to the studio to watch it, as well as Ryan came to the studio to
oh my
watch
God,
it.
I wish I was there.
So we had.
What did you do with him? I hope you didn't kill him.
I will say Christmas came early, everybody.
Oh.
Christmas came early. So
I've never seen so much
Drama.
so much like happiness and sadness in one room because Ryan was absolutely for him. This is bigger than I think you would rather that happen than Manchester United getting Champions League.
Absolutely.
That's ridiculous, Ryan.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm just saying that's ridiculous. that you
Honestly,
think that.
I'm going to be totally honest with everybody. If things stay the way they are and the league gets canceled and there's no winner, and Man U right now in 5th place, so they do not qualify for Champions League as of now. I mean, unless Man City don't win their appeal, I will be totally okay with Liverpool not winning the league and Man U not qualifying for the Champions League.
That's how bad the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool
It's
is.
like AC Milan against Inter Milan. So we'll
That's
do
kinda
anything.
stupid,
It's like
though.
we'd rather to see either Juventus winning the championship or Lazio.
Oh, he would say the same thing too. Actually,
Yeah.
you would take Inter not winning the league so
Oh.
that and
I
Milan
will
not
take
in
Juventus or Lazio over Inter. So that's how bad it
Champions.
is.
We're saying when football's back.
Why would you risk your team not doing good rather than seeing your bitter rivals
You don't
not
get
do
it,
good?
Mike.
I
Because-
feel like
You
it's
don't get it,
better
Mike.
to see your team.
Mike, you're not a real soccer
But Mike,
fan.
you don't
He's
understand.
He's a flipper.
You just don't understand the rivalry here.
You
know,
don't get
it's
it,
one
Let
of
me
those
ask someone-
things
let me
where
ask someone to bring Gaetano. What do you think about that? Honestly, he'd rather take his own team not going to Champions League. So a rival.
Everybody can have their own opinion. Everybody's in football for different things.
I will
you support
say,
3 different teams for the league.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
He supports
but hold
5.
on. No,
I want to hear
3, 5.
Gaetano on this. Gaetano,
Okay.
go.
No, I mean, to me, it's I will go for my team. If my team has to, I would rather have my team make the Champions League and then next year kick their ass.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Oh,
See,
you don't know-
that's
I will
competition.
say-
Listen to me. You don't
Hold
know how
on.
good it feels to see Conte like this.
100%. Same thing with Klopp.
So bitter.
Same thing with all of them.
So
And
bitter.
We had a problem with that guy.
my thing here is every Manchester United fan in the world, and I could bet my life on it, would
Oh my
totally agree with me that
I think you're
Liverpool not winning the league is just the best thing that ever
Ferguson?
happened.
If
Especially
you
when
ask
they're
Ferguson?
40 points or whatever it is, 22 points up in the league right now to Man City.
Klopp is gonna stop, jumping like a cricket. You know. Look, Klopp. Look, Klopp. Every time that they score, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. There'll be no more chest bumping.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
so-
Oh yeah.
The German cricket.
The whole idea was their game. Klopp after the match hit out at Simeone, or all of Atletico.
Yeah.
Because you know how Atletico are. They're a defensive team. They counterattack. They literally did nothing. I mean, they were doing nothing going forward. Atletico. It was all Liverpool pounding, and Atletico defending. That's their style. And Klopp said, with all the great players that you have, you'd think that they'd play good football, or they'd at least try to play good football. And when they asked Simeone, they said, "Oh, Klopp thinks that you guys don't play." He said, "I'm there to win, and that's it." He's like, "So whatever I got to do to win, I'll do it." And there was a lot of bitter rivalry between Liverpool and Atletico, who said that that Simeone is playing anti-football because
BS.
it's all defensive. And then they ended up scoring 2 goals and extra time.
3.
3
No,
goals,
yeah,
not to
sorry.
mention. And you know, not for
Morata
nothing,
then.
I will admit Liverpool did play a much better game,
Yeah.
for that matter, for the entire 90 minutes. But extra time came, and I just, like as Marco said, Atletico are a team that defend very well, and then when they have the opportunity to counterattack, they make sure they finish their chances. And you know,
I don't agree that they defend well. I think Oblak defends well.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they're
First of all,
they're a
first
disaster
of
in the
all,
background.
Oblak
He
is
saved
phenomenal.
them the game
Yeah, he
many
did.
times.
If you put Oblak on Liverpool, because they didn't play with Alisson and Adrian, whatever his name is, he cost them the Champions
Yeah, a
League.
couple of goals.
The
yeah.
2 goals, he was culpable on both of them.
I can't necessarily
If
agree.
Oblak was on Liverpool,
I mean,
Liverpool go through in that game. Easy.
Right.
Easy.
You know
Right.
what? Screw
Easy.
Liverpool. Who cares about Liverpool? They deserve to lose.
They're now
once in a
called
while.
loser
And-
pool. not to
Loser
mention.
pool.
There we go.
And you know what? Simeone, I tip my hat to Simeone. Simeone
do.
is not a. He's not a.
Simeone jumps around more than Klopp
Simeone is
does.
not a Conte or Sarri. This is one of the few over there that deserve. Isn't he the highest paid coach?
Yeah.
Yes.
As
By-
far as I
by
know.
like
Yeah.
20 million.
Who told me? By 20 million.
Yeah.
So this is the main reasons why a coach like that can take a game that is lopsided on the Liverpool side. I said, hey, those guys, they're gonna go all over them. Look what happened.
Right.
They were humiliated in the last 5-10 minutes. That's what happened. You know, Liverpool, they thought that they had it on the
In
bag
extra time.
already. So then comes Simeone quietly, even when they were down. So the guy, they tied the game, and then Liverpool adrenaline starting to kick in overdrive. And then that's what happened. They lost control of the game. They got caught with their pants down with Simeone. This Laurent is a spectacular player. I heard that they pay him a lot of money. Even what's his name? The kid that was substitute. Joao Felix.
He didn't do anything.
You know,
Neither Costa,
He didn't
yeah.
do it. They
you know, he
didn't-
made the pass.
Atletico
though.
didn't play.
He made the assist for the guy for Laurent.
The only problem I have with it is the people that say, "Look how great Simeone is," because this is not a Simeone masterclass. It's
Yeah,
not.
I mean-
it's not. They
Well, the
they don't even,
substitution,
they don't
Marco,
even defend
and-
well. They don't even defend well.
Substitution,
any
you
other
could say.
team, I don't know if you watched the game, any other team will have folded already. Would have folded the game. On the paper. And the
Simeone
way
is just
the
like
match.
Conte. He's literally
Nah,
just like
don't
Conte.
give Conte too
They-
much credit.
They
No,
play
please,
the exact
please.
style.
They
same
do,
style of
and they
football.
act the same too.
I will admit, though, as much as we're blaming Liverpool's keeper, I have to blame Mane as well. Mane had 2 simple chances that he decided to try and do a bicycle on both chances, not to mention, and he messed up where all he had to do was just finish it. And the game would have been long over, you know?
And they had their fans
They had
too.
a crossbar also. Liverpool had a
Right.
crossbar.
But whatever. Anyway,
Who cares?
That was a crazy
yeah,
game. No, that was an enjoyable game
listen,
for sure.
That was the
Very
last Champions
exciting.
League
Yeah.
that we're gonna see for who knows how long.
Exactly.
And also, Champions League still has not canceled the season, which is
They
again crazy.
Europa League, UEFA canceled Europa League and Champions League matches of next week. So we're still waiting to see from a meeting to see if they will cancel the rest of
I
the
don't know
season.
I don't know what more you need than
There is too much money
Real
involved, Ragatano. Too much money involved to cancel those things right now, right?
I mean,
They're gonna wait.
To me, I would not cancel anything. I would just postpone.
suspend. That's what we mean.
Yes,
We're saying
yeah.
suspend.
Suspend and keep going. This is what NBA is doing, right? NBA here,
Correct.
they're suspended.
Hockey.
That's what we
hockey,
mean. We meant
baseball.
suspend.
Baseball.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do. What are you going to do? You can't play right now. Why waste all this 28 games? How many
Yeah.
they played? Why
26
waste all
games.
this? And why shouldn't they be a champion? They should be a champion. You wait and let them play later on.
But the
when,
problem-
when the time comes, you resume it. That's all.
The problem, that's not the problem though. The problem is that they're not suspending it. So there was even people messaging us like, we have tickets to go see Napoli Barca and the game is still on, and they're spending money to go get those tickets. They're buying travel fare, all this stuff, and it's not right that they'll cancel it the day before or the day of. We know that it's going to be suspended. You have to suspend it. How many more teams do you want?
You think they're going to give a rain check to the guys that they bought the ticket? Because I know some of those tickets, they may have restrictions. They say, hey, you bought a ticket on your own risk. Nobody told
Yeah.
you to buy it.
That's what's wrong about the
not being,
situation.
not
I
being
mean-
reimbursed, Catano, could be a major problem. Don't you think?
Well, in order to save that, because what happens, there are the season tickets older, right? So now all the teams have all this money that they already received from the fans, and it's in their pocket. So what happens to all that money? If there's no more season, it should go back to the fans. If you're not showing me a game, I want the money back. So I think that would help them. It would help also the teams by playing the games, so that whoever bought the tickets, at least that money that the team made, it remains.
Yeah,
It remains
that's
with
a
the
good point.
team.
Oh, boy,
you know,
But it
it's-
needs to be suspended. The games need to be
yeah,
suspended.
you know, I
They
agree
still,
with that.
They still at
But
this
don't-
moment have not
Don't
suspended.
cancel it. Don't
Yeah,
cancel
don't
the
ca- yeah, yeah.
season. Suspend
Wait
it.
till it gets better.
When it gets better,
Yeah.
that's when you stop
Agreed.
playing.
But they
And
need
you-
to stop selling tickets.
And you go from the last game, and you keep going, and then you push everything back, and you hopefully by September, even if you have to start with a couple of weeks delay, then you take it from there.
Gaetano, you know, I feel bad too. I thought about it right now. The people that they buy the tickets on a black market or put the scalpels, the people that, you know,
Like on,
scalping,
StubHub
they
or
said, hey,
whatever.
hey, I said, hey, then once you pay them, that stuff is not coming back to you.
Well, but that's
if you
illegal.
buy directly,
You're doing something illegal.
right? If you buy
so-
directly from the website or from the league or from
Yeah,
the team,
that's
whatever,
something
then it's a
illegal.
different
There are
story.
some teams that are still not giving their money back. So there's issues, and I think it's wrong. Just because we've seen firsthand people messaging us, Napoli, Barcelona, I have tickets, I bought my plane, I bought
You know-
this, the game's still on. Now it's not, but
what the airlines are doing is, they're not charging any penalty. If you have a ticket, you can extend it for a year, so you can travel within, or they give a voucher, and then you can use that voucher for a year. You can't just lose the money,
Right.
or you cannot
Exactly,
just
yeah.
say,
It's not
I'm not
right.
going to give you the money
Or you lose
back.
fans. You lose fans like this. You
Yeah,
actually
that's
wind
not-
up
that's not
losing
right,
fans.
because
Right.
the people in good faith bought something, and now I understand it's not the team's fault, but it's not even their fault, So you have to try to make the best possible. And to me, the best part, you suspend and you delay.
Yeah.
Then you
gotta
Imagine
be
Mike.
some kind of
Imagine Mike that
compromise.
is not a real fan. He's an Inter fan right now. So an Inter,
Lazio,
an Inter,
come
or
on,
Lazio.
what's
All
wrong
right,
with you?
sorry. An Inter or Lazio, they don't allow Mike to go watch the game, and then they said,
That
"Oh,
wouldn't be
sorry,
fair.
Mike." Then Mike becomes an AC Milan fan. So somebody weak like that, you have to worry about it because
somebody weak like that.
Yeah.
The ticket's not stopping me from changing teams.
Oh,
by
yes,
the
you
way.
do.
I'm just saying.
I do think that a lot of teams, a lot of clubs
Got questions?
in the entire world are going to be affected financially. I mean, it's
Financially,
bound to happen.
Of
Yeah,
course,
all of- yeah,
financial. This
that's
is
the biggest problem.
This is hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
I was talking to a friend of mine a few minutes before I got to the podcast, and he has a restaurant in the city. He's closing the restaurant. He is close. He's got another one. He's got a couple of restaurants. What are you going to do? He said there is nobody coming to the restaurants.
Oh,
There's nobody coming.
What a
What
mess.
are you going to do? I got to close.
Tell him
You
who
know how
to
much
fuck.
money how much money is involved. This is Broadway is closed.
He's
I
got
mean,
waiter
it's-
stuff and
sure, all the way.
products.
Oh, one thing that I heard this morning, which was very nice, and this happened in United States, but I don't remember which team. I believe it's a basketball team. What they did is the players, they're going to put money from their own pocket
I saw
to
this.
pay the
The
host
staff, yeah, the
to
staff.
pay the staff. I think that
Was
was
it Cuban's team?
No, it was at the-
there's
no.
a
There's
few.
been a few
Dallas,
teams.
Milwaukee
I
Bucks
thought it
did
was
it.
Dallas.
Dallas
Dallas.
Mavericks did
Dallas,
it.
It was Dallas that
Multiple
saw
teams
that.
are
I
doing
think
it.
that was
Yeah.
a very nice thing. So
Yeah.
all the teams from Serie A, all the millionaires players, put some money and take care of the people that
That they keep the lockers room clean.
the locker
and,
room. That's right,
the
the locker room. That
organization,
The
that
grass,
wash
the
the
water,
clothes
and all the stuff.
and
yeah.
the ushers.
I
The
should
stands,
all the vendors
they
as
take
well,
care of the
you know?
stands and
we
clean.
should say a couple players have already donated.
Oh, they did? Okay, I didn't know
Insigne donated a couple
100,000,
100,000. Bernardeschi, Bonucci, Romagnoli, and a couple Roma, I think, donated. A bunch of teams have started
sorry.
to.
Sorry about that. Sorry, player. I didn't know that. But good job. If you did it, excellent.
No, there's a bunch out there that are starting to
Good.
Do
starting to
fundraisers
donate
and
do it. But
stuff,
I do
yeah.
I agree with like the staffing. It's such a shame, and everybody's going to be
especially
affected.
those big calibers that they have a lot of money. So you know, put your money where your mouth is. So pay the people that.
One other good thing we could say is all these videos that we're getting of the Italians on their balconies that are showing support to each other. So basically, at like 6 o'clock in the evening, why'd you just hit it?
No, because it was shooting upwards. Mike keeps messing around my mic.
That's because you don't talk.
Mike,
into it.
stop with my mic.
At 6 o'clock in the evening, a bunch of Italians said, let's all go on our balconies, let's sing songs, let's do this, let's do that, just to cheer yourself up. And they're doing it in the perfect way, is what I love. Everybody needs to stay home. They're being safe. They're boosting their spirits. And we're seeing from all over Italy just a lot of good videos,
And
right?
United, yeah.
They put music on. They
That's
dance
pretty
on the
cool.
balcony.
Yeah,
So
That's pretty
I
cool.
saw the one from Napoli. I saw one from Roma. I saw one from Palermo.
Yeah, there's a
And I
bunch.
think there's another one from the north. Beautiful songs, and they all in the balcony singing, dancing. So that's good.
That actually, I feel like it says something about the people. Like,
course.
listen, even in the hard times, like we're gonna
Stick
find
together.
something that
Yeah.
we're gonna be able to.
Yeah.
Antonio feels like what? What are you gonna say?
Hey, listen, if I was in an apartment building, unfortunately I live in a house over here, but if I was in an apartment building, I will open the window first one, I would bring the music equipment outside with all my AC Milan gears, and the body gears, of course, which they are now in beautiful display over here. Guys, by the way, look what a beautiful job I did over here, okay? With those guys, they're a bunch of sleepy, you know, so look.
Antonio came here. He said, "Looks nice." He put the body scarf, and then he took credit for everything.
And he
Okay.
forced us to put 4 Milan scarves in a row.
Listen, let me just make you the list of some of the most incredible jerseys. We have Baggio, of course. We have Dybala. We have Zanetti
Atalanta.
over here. We have Atalanta, yeah. But that's their own shirt, by the way. His wife, she's one of our big
He
followers.
says it every podcast.
Yeah, Renata, right?
Ricardo.
Ricardo, yeah, I'm sorry. Ricardo, you know what? Even if you're stuck in Holland, you keep watching us. We're going to be cheering you up. And you guys are doing very well anyway. Their own, hopefully, is going to be sold to AC Milan. And then you become an AC Milan fan.
no.
And you're going to have the same shirt signed by all the AC Milan players and send it back to us. Then we got
Why
Zanetti.
would he want to go downward?
No,
He's gonna go from Champions League to not
but
even Europa
we need
League.
the room to bring AC Milan out. So then we got, look, Del Piero, Beckman, Gervinho just sent us another jersey, right?
Yeah,
All
Forza
about
Paolo.
a lot of Pirlo, Totti, Balotelli, Chiellini, De Rossi, Gaetano over here. So we got it all, guys.
So Gervinho sent you the
Yeah.
shirt signed from him.
Signed,
That was very
signed.
nice.
We talked about it on the last one.
Thank
yeah.
you,
Thank you,
Gervinho.
Gervinho. We're talking about the jerseys. Someone actually asked a question. They said, which signed jersey would you guys love to get for your podcast wall and why?
I think we got Maldini because Maldini and Gaetano.
I have Maldini.
You know who would be
Yeah.
a good one?
Cannavaro
I'm
would
thinking-
be nice.
Cannavaro would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm thinking outside the box that we wouldn't have. A
Manolas?
Maradona.
Ibrahimovic
Oh,
too.
Maradona
would be nice
Ibrahimovic.
too.
I think
Maradona would be a
Ludovico's
hard
got Ludovico might have a Maradona
I think they're
jersey.
saying more of like a fantasy.
We
Like
have to
a
break through
dream.
Ludovico's house
How
when
about
he's
a guy-
sleeping.
you don't
They got
even
a
say
couple
a
jerseys
Cassano?
to get out.
Cassano, of
Yeah,
course.
like he didn't even remember about
I
Cassano.
have
I
a
gave him-
Cassano jersey.
Screaming.
The game jersey that he went to watch and he went into the locker
Yeah, okay.
room
He
and
went to the
I got it.
spiaggia, he
I
went-
never
he went it a little bit, he gave it
No,
to
I
you,
never
and-
watched that. I never watched that. I swear to God, I still have it.
Wait,
You
he
know?
has a Cassano jersey?
Yeah,
I gave it to him.
Really?
Yeah.
It's signed?
of course. No, it's not signed, but I got it.
Antonio signed it himself.
Yes. But you know what? My goal one day is to meet Cassano and then play tennis with him, and let's see if
He's gonna get a
who's
restraining
win.
order
We both have
against
the two initials, AC Antonio Cassano and Antonio Cinque Palmi. So let's see which AC or air conditioner is going to be the stronger one. Okay.
We have to set that up. We need you to play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One day we'll fly you guys together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Your
to put
true
you together.
love.
Anything else? Anything on your mind?
Yeah,
Ryan?
but as
But
you
Ryan, look
judge
how
me-
many notes you brought over, Ryan.
Yeah, anything else you
Scary.
want to talk about?
No,
Ryan
not
didn't
so
mess
much. I
around.
mean, going back to England really fast. You know, I don't know where the Serie A stands at the minute, but I've seen a few reports from Sky Sports. They've been talking to a few directors in England from certain clubs. They haven't given the information out yet, but one director came out and said, as of right now, there's a 75% chance that this season will not go on, and that's a high
Canceled?
number. You know?
Canceled?
Right, 75% chance that the season will not go on. So.
I thought it was Will.
Yeah, so I don't know where we're gonna go, and there's a lot of questions being asked. You know, as Gaetano was trying to explain before, is there gonna be anybody getting promoted? Is there anybody gonna be getting relegated? You know, how do you figure out what's next? You know what I mean, going forward. So there's a lot of questions being asked, and you know, there's no answer right now. So
Well, he's talking about craziness. You know what we forgot? Like this feels like an eternity ago. Atalanta in the Champions League.
Wow.
We didn't talk about that last time?
No, we didn't talk
Oh
about it
my
because we filmed on
God.
Monday.
4-3, man. What a
4-3 against
slap.
Valencia. through to the
Away,
next round.
away.
Ilicic,
The
4
only
goals.
thing, it was unfortunate because it happened at the time where everything started becoming insane, where we forgot about football for a little while. But what a team. What a team that does not, they don't defend, but they definitely do not stop attacking.
Not only did they not need to win that game, but they went out there and they won the game, scoring another 4 goals at Valencia. So Ilicic scored 4 goals. It's just incredible.
It
from
ended 8-4
them. 8-4
on aggregate.
Yeah.
Atalanta put 8 goals in their first playoff Champions League match in history.
history.
Ilicic, who's been absolute world class,
Magician.
he became only one of 4 other players to ever score 4 goals in a Champions League: Lewandowski, Mario Gomez, and Lionel Messi.
Wow.
In his first Champions League season, and this is an Ilicic who constantly people have underrated.
So now with Atalanta going through,
Yeah,
right? How many teams will be left?
So
in
they're going to
Europe?
go to the
Eight
final
teams.
eight.
quarterfinals.
Final 8
Yeah.
8. So they are top 8
teams in Europe.
in the world.
Yeah.
In the world.
Well, in
the-
Europe.
Well,
In
which
the
is the
world,
world.
like-
Which
Which
is
is
the
the-
world.
I mean, if
Yeah.
we're talking about
Quality.
All right,
of
It
football.
really is
No,
impressive.
You have,
argument.
no,
It
you have
really
South
is.
America. You
Ah,
can,
yeah,
you
in
can
Europe,
say
in
that.
Europe.
In
South
Europe.
America, it's not a level of the European.
Technically, UEFA is
You only quite a couple teams that you have the Boca Junior over there, and
Yeah, but they play when they play the game, the Toyota game there for the World Championship.
okay, fair enough.
You know, it's always one
two,
time
three
is
games,
Europe,
2-3
one
teams,
time
2-3
is,
games, 2-3
South
teams.
America.
Not
Fair
Anyway, but 8. You know, you're talking about 8 teams in Europe.
That's
when
incredible.
you compare it to Manchester United, you know, Liverpool, PSG, and Real
Juventus.
Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus.
Oh, Manchester United. You said Atalanta can spank Manchester United like. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
know,
sorry.
wait,
I didn't know that you were
wait
first.
a second, Antonio. I
some-
might be mistaken, but where's Milan right now?
Don't worry about that. We're talking about
Where is
Atalanta.
Milan? Last time I heard
We're
Milan
talking about
played, I heard they got
Atalanta.
a good spanking from Genoa. Is that true?
2-1.
Wow. Okay. So I think that explains it all.
He was ready. He was ready.
This guy is ready. Okay, he doesn't only know
But
English Premier League. He
I
knows
thought that you were my friend. Don't
In-
call me again.
He knows
know-
Italian football right here.
that's it.
Oh, I cannot give you.
That's it.
Go like this.
Should have defeat. But yeah.
Very good. Good
So-
job. Good job, Ryan.
Yeah.
But seriously, who would win, Atalanta or Manchester United?
Honestly, right now, Atalanta's playing very impressive football. I'm
There's
not
no
gonna
shame
take it
in
away.
saying it.
It's
Atalanta
it's almost like a fairy tale to see a team that you would never think, first of all, qualified for the Champions League to then come this far as well, and to see how well they're playing in the Serie A as well. You know, so
I told you during the game because Ryan didn't realize, and I guess people outside of Serie A bubble, you might not know, and I told you and you couldn't believe it, Atalanta has the same wage bill as second division mid-table English clubs.
that was really shocking to hear. I
crazy.
didn't realize, I didn't realize how much. I know there's a lot more money involved in England, but you would never think that a second division side in England their wage bill would be more expensive than a Serie A team. Not to mention who's in the Champions League right now.
Way to go, Atalanta. Way to go. Good job.
You know,
Very
we're
good.
talking about money
Yeah,
right
okay.
now. Imagine now for all of
they're
those
gonna say
teams like
Gasperini.
Manchester United, like Liverpool, like Manchester City, Juventus. Those are all people that those are teams that Rome, I think, is on. They are quoted on the major U.S. Market too, and the European stock markets. I'm sure their stock
plummeting.
is they
Yeah.
plummet. So now is a good time to buy.
Right.
Time
but,
to buy.
But having to said that, hopefully, again, I was ready to say, their next opponent. We don't know when we're ever going to see Champions League back, but when they do the drawing, listen, if Atalanta, and I'm not saying that they could beat them, but I'm saying this would be a great match. RB Leipzig is also through. Who did they beat?
They beat Spurs, actually.
Spurs.
Tottenham.
They
And they beat them bad.
aggregate,
Man,
right?
almost every
So
English team
Mourinho is out too.
Yeah,
Am I
but,
surprised?
I will. I mean, there should
He's a
be.
loser. That guy's always been a major loser. Look at that. They
Mourinho-
spent so much money. They got Mourinho. They got out of the Champions
Gets
League.
like $15 million a year.
Wow.
And the
Mourinho.
thing over there is there shouldn't be. First of all, I'm not.
15.
15.
15.
He was about to take out a spelt or something.
I'm not making any
It's
excuses.
not worth not even half of that.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
know,
How much money is
About
involved?
1/10 of
Not
that.
even
Forget
half of
about
that.
half.
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, we took them. That's it.
Yeah,
we only had a couple.
we
yeah,
answered
okay.
all of
Yeah,
them
we're good.
pretty much. Yeah.
Guys, good. Okay, I was gonna say.
Wait, what about
Atalanta,
the merchandising? Do
If
we
they
have
get if they get RB Leipzig, my God, they got a chance.
They do have a
They have a
chance.
chance
We'll see.
to be top
We'll
4
see.
in the world.
Listen, Atalanta can take any team.
I even-
Atalanta can take any
Forza
team right
Dea,
now. I'm telling
baby.
you right now. I will not be surprised if Atalanta wins the Champions League.
when it
that'd be
comes
nice.
back on.
I think
Okay.
Atletico. They could take Atletico, I believe.
Hey, by the
That'd
way,
be very
walking
tough.
inside of the podcast,
Yeah.
I saw all of this brand new merchandising. Spectacular. I'm telling you, I want to just grab them all and take them home. Are they on sale
don't do
already,
that.
or you put
They're
them on the
not-
market
No.
already?
So this is what's happening. We're designing a shirt that's going to be donated to Relief in Italy. 100% of the profits are going to be donated. We're working on the details. It'll be announced on Monday. We already got the designs. We showed you guys on Instagram. That's going to come first. We're trying to release it on Monday in coordinates with some teams that we're talking to help put a GoFundMe out there so Italy can have some relief. And then we're going to release these. So we just got to space it out a little bit.
first
because-
priority-
Can you bring one of them,
is a
Ryan?
mission.
Give me the one with
Well, I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it.
Yeah.
No, I
one.
wanted that one.
Don't
Just
give
bring
it
that.
to-
Can you
What
grab
do you
that
want?
one? I want to just. Yes, that one. That one. I like that.
Let me get it
That's-
for him.
Antonio always likes to...
Guys, listen to me. This is the way to go. If you see me on this shirt one of these days, because this is really nothing but top. Can they see that?
Yeah,
they
the
can
middle.
see
Oh, here.
Yeah.
I don't see the camera over
The
here.
middle.
Oh,
middle.
Hey,
They see it.
Hey. So this is nothing but top quality material, and the design is such.
I like that you
very
chose the
nice.
Inter colors.
Yeah, no, they're not intercolor. Okay, and it says Calcio
Over everything.
over everything. So don't forget to rate us with 5 stars. Keep doing
Yeah.
the homework.
Yep.
While you're doing homework, listen to the podcast. And be nice. Don't shake hands with anybody, and listen to your parents. Don't even shake hands with your parents or hug them. Just listen to them. That's good
Keep
enough.
washing your hands.
Keep washing your hands.
Forza
Very good. Talk to you soon.
Atalanta.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, guys.